So Mark, myth number 8 is about planning and sales planning, and you say that, you know, people don't necessarily, it's not all in the planning, there are other things and other factors, and salespeople spend a lot of time doing research and, you know, not being at the coalface and everything else. So there must be a balance. You don't just burst into a sales meeting without thinking about it. So where does the balance lie?
Well, whenever we say this to salespeople, you can hear them inside rejoicing that, thank goodness, I don't need to do any planning anymore. The reality is, the reason why we say it's a myth is because how many times, Grant, have you seen a salesperson prepare, get everything ready, maybe they're in telesales, but before they hit the phones, they really truly need to understand the customer. They always do star jumps, kind of warming up, sort of flexing. They pick up the telephone and the customer's not there. So then they go on to the next one and spend another 10 minutes researching for the customer. It goes back to, if the value proposition is truly robust, so they know the sort of reasons why customers would want them, the sort of credible solution that they're offering, and why this is genuine perceived value, then actually, providing that's suited to the sector, there isn't too much planning that an individual should have to do on a company, okay? Because that's actually when you're then into the sale, you can then start to generate more information. Now, the higher up you go, the more important those contacts are. So we don't want to blow those. So of course we need to be prepared. But there is a balance. I believe that in the early stages of contacting an organisation, I believe that there is a balance between the two. And I'd rather a salesperson was optimising their time, not wasting their time on information that they're never going to use. I think they're procrastinating.
Does it change on the value order of the, so if you're selling $1 million software solution, does your time planning change quite significantly than if you're selling a $300 product? You know, does it depend on order value here as well to a point?
Of course it does. The reality is that if I'm selling $1 million contract, I'm probably not going to get a meeting with you day one and sell that by the end of today. So the reality is I do need to do due diligence in creating that opportunity. But you know what? If I'm selling those sort of deals, I'm probably speaking to lots of people within the organisation. So am I going to do a huge amount of research on every single person? Probably not. So even though the order value may change and the sales cycle is longer, the reality is salespeople who procrastinate too much will actually be less effective, in my opinion.
So ultimately, in many ways, it's about time management. 100%. It's about salespeople utilising their time in the best way possible. Do you have any tips for salespeople in making sure they get that right?
Well, Stephen Covey, of course, talks about the 4 quadrants. And the reality is that salespeople are too guilty of being involved with the urgent tasks, but the not important tasks. So it's trying to strip those out and maximising their time on the tasks that will generate revenue.